when a 40-year-old Boeing 737 was fighting the ocean, caught between life and death. Hello friends! Welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about the terrifying accident of Transair Flight 810, which occurred on the night of July 2nd, 2021 in the Hawaiian Islands, USA. It was 1:15 a.m. Honolulu Airport was completely silent. Only the runway lights were glowing. On runway 08 left stood an old lion, a Boeing 737-200, registration N810TA, 46 years old, built in 1975. This aircraft once carried passengers, but later it was converted into a cargo plane. That night, its belly was loaded with nearly 9 tons of cargo, hundreds of Amazon packages, boxes of fresh flowers, Hawaiian fruits, and even some fish. The total takeoff weight was approximately 63 tons. The fuel tanks were completely full. The flight was only about 30 minutes long, but the return trip also had to be considered. There were 2 people in the cockpit. On the left seat sat Captain Richard O'Brien, 58 years old, white beard, a local Hawaiian, with more than 18,000 flight hours. People affectionately called him Uncle Rick. On the right seat was First Officer Joey Nichols, 36 years old, long blonde hair, a surfing enthusiast. She had recently earned her Boeing 737 type rating, with only 450 hours on this aircraft. At 1:33 a.m., air traffic control gave clearance. Transair 810, runway 08 left, cleared for takeoff. The captain calmly replied, "Cleared for takeoff, Transair 8 and 10. The engines roared. Brakes released. The aircraft accelerated down the runway. Speed increased. 60 knots. V1, rotate. The nose lifted. The wheels left the runway. Landing gear up. Flaps slowly retracting. Everything was perfect. The lights of Honolulu were shrinking below. But friends, just 4 minutes after takeoff, as the aircraft climbed through 2,000 feet, a sudden violent jolt shook the plane. The entire aircraft trembled. From the right engine, it felt as if someone had struck it with a hammer. The cockpit panels vibrated violently. The shaking was so intense that holding the throttle became difficult. The captain immediately pushed the left engine to full power. The aircraft was still climbing. Barely. Joey grabbed the checklist and shouted, "Sir, what happened?" Grinding his teeth, the captain replied, "Right engine failure." He immediately radioed ATC. Transair 810, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. We've lost 1 engine. We're returning." ATC asked, "How many souls on board?" Calmly, the captain replied, "2 souls. No passengers." Now the real drama began. They initiated the engine failure checklist, but the vibration felt strange, as if it were coming from the left side. On older Boeing 737-200 models, vibration can be misleading, sometimes felt from the opposite side. But in that moment, both pilots forgot this critical detail. Joey said, "Sir, left engine failure." The captain hesitated for a second, then confirmed it. What happened next was forever written into aviation history. He moved the left engine fuel cutoff switch to off. Friends, now the aircraft was left with only 1 half-dead right engine. Airspeed dropped rapidly. 180 knots, 160. Now we're at 2,100 feet. The climb stopped, and the aircraft began to fall. Alarms screamed, "Stall, stall! Pull up! Terrain, terrain!" Suddenly, the captain realized, "Oh my God, we shut down the wrong engine." Joey's face turned pale. They attempted to restart the right engine, but altitude was disappearing rapidly. Every second, 1,000 feet lost. The dark ocean waves rushed closer. ATC kept calling, "Transair 810, can you make the runway?" The captain's final reply, "Negative, negative. We are ditching in the water." Time 1:56 a.m. Above Mamala Bay, the aircraft was only 300 feet above the sea. The captain raised the nose, trying to hold 130 knots. Wings perfectly level, Joey made the final Mayday call. "We are ditching now." And then, boom! Thud, thud, crash! The tail hit the water first. The aircraft bounced, lifted into the air again, then slammed down a second time. The impact was so violent, that part of the cockpit broke apart. The aircraft flipped over, floating upside down. Inside, everything was drifting. Papers, cargo boxes, seat cushions, freezing seawater rushed in rapidly. Outside, 8 to 10 foot waves, pitch black night, no lights. But these 2 were not the kind to give up. The captain pulled the emergency exit. The water pressure blasted them out. Both inflated their life vests, clung to each other. The aircraft slowly sank. They ignited emergency flares, red lights piercing the darkness. For 45 long minutes, they fought the freezing ocean. Their bodies began to go numb. Suddenly, the sound of a helicopter echoed in the distance. A U.S. Coast Guard MH-65 Dolphin helicopter. The rescue swimmer hoisted Joey first. Then the captain, wrapped in blankets, they were rushed to Queens Medical Center. The captain suffered a serious back injury. Joey had hypothermia, but both survived. The wreckage was found at a depth of 400-500 feet, recovered months later. The investigation revealed the right engine's high-pressure turbine blades were broken. Maintenance records were faulty. But the biggest cause, one fatal mistake by the pilots, shutting down the wrong engine. The investigation report concluded clearly, this accident was completely preventable. Friends, the story of Transair Flight 810 teaches us that in aviation, 1 second of error can cost a lifetime. But courage and training can defeat even death. Now tell me, if you were in that cockpit and both engines failed, what would you do? Share and follow. So the next dangerous story reaches you first. See you in the next video. Until then, keep flying and stay safe.